I'm Dr. Daisy Alexander. I had the School of Law at the Manipal Law School. And Manipal Law School is basically an off-campus of the main Manipal, which is the first. Everybody knows Manipal has a rich history and heritage, which is almost from 1953 onwards. So we have our MAHE's, that is Manipal Academy of Higher Education, which is an institution of eminence. And we have our first law school here in Bangalore campus, and the campus is about 130 acres. Now, when you talk about Manipal Law School, we strive for a paradigm shift in the field of legal education. We are trying to give something very different, which is student-centric for the students and which is very progressive as per the present day and times. Now, Manipal Law School, in short, we call as MLS. So MLS, it focuses on enabling students. We try to comprehend a multi-dimensional legal systems. So our objective is very clear. We want to develop the students' abilities. So we want to develop your abilities by enhancing your written and oral skills. When you talk about law, written and oral skills is very important. At the same time, listening and speaking. So writing, speaking, listening, all of them are very important, very persuasively, and we anticipate outcomes, and we use research and analytical skills in problem solving, because research is very important today. And when you talk about law, we try to solve problems and we use analytical skills over here. So our curriculum and our pedagogy at the MLS, we try to be at par with all the leading law schools, which involves the global contemporary issues and the standard legal practices in India. And of course, the laws are different in different countries, but then there are common aspects which can always be taken care of. Now, when you talk about MLS, we foster a holistic academic environment because we have a state-of-art infrastructure. We are here for the students. And this enables the students to an inclusive access to a progressive, adaptive, innovative, and legal education, because education is innovative and each day a new thing comes and everybody is bound by law. Everything is bound by law. So everywhere you need somebody who has a law degree. So the learning pedagogy, this consists of both theoretical as well as practical, because theory is taught here. At the same time, we have practical involvement, and we have practical involvement with the neighborhood communities as well to begin with. Now, when you talk about the department highlights with respect to the School of Law, we give a major thrust to the courses. Like we have 3 courses here. We offer BA LLB, BBA LLB, and BCom LLB. And we have 3 programs here. These 3 programs, which would be offered to all the students. I'll tell you about the programs as well. So our major thrust to these programs and the courses like professional ethics, wherein students are more acclimatized to the practical nuances of your legal career, because in legal career, you can go to the courts, you can go to as legal advisors in companies, there won't be any dearth of jobs, because as far as recession is concerned, there is no recession for law. There are mergers and acquisitions all the time. So you have corporate, you have financial, you have political, you name it, and there is a law everywhere. So that's why we try to devise the programs accordingly, and our curriculum is devised accordingly. We have an excellent learning environment at MLS, at Manipal, a law school in Bangalore campus, which comprises of an eco-sustainable green campus. We have a wide range of co-curricular and extracurricular activities. We have legal research centers. We have diverse departments. We have multidisciplinary expertise, and we have legal aid. Legal aid clinics are very important, wherein the student has to go to the neighborhood community, the villages. We have jail visits, court visits, and they have to help the lawyers bringing these matters to the court. They act, and that becomes an experience for them, and this enhances their study of law. The students, even under the guidance of our exemplary faculty, they endeavor for an active engagement in the service, where we try to give to the local, regional, national, and international community. So MLS is committed to its vision and mission, and it strives for the attainment of these aspirational goals. So our goal is to create a holistic community of teachers and learners in a conducive and sustainable ecosystem, and you will surely enjoy that. See, if you see our vision with respect to our law school, Our vision is to germinate an unrivaled metamorphosis of intellect in an inclusive, multidisciplinary. Why I call it multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary? Because law is involved everywhere. So it is just you have a BBA law, you have a BA law, you have a BCom law. We also work with other areas, like we have law and medicine, we have technology and law. So in the courses we have these kinds of electives as well, wherein the students can do multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research. It's a flourishing community of learners and researchers. They would inculcate the human values of integrity and sustainability, because that is where you would be the future of the country. You would be contributing towards the nation building, towards the economy of the country, and in pursuit of excellence in the contemporary field of legal education and practice worldwide. And our mission, our Manipal Law School, if you say, we are at MAHE, we're consistent with our distinctive heritage. We have historic strength. We fostering diversity. We believe in our equity, gender justice, environment sustainability, interdisciplinarity, dissemination of knowledge. And we have a diverse stakeholders, and the biggest stakeholders is the students. So to attain higher standards of legal education, and this is on par with inclusive, universal, sustainable strategies. Hence, in achieving skills such as legal analysis, application of law, and facilitate legal argumentation. We teach you with moot courts, alternate dispute resolution, with trial advocacy. We have all practicals. We take you to the courts. We send you for competitions. We train you with all these things. To enable the scholars to acquire knowledge, it leads to an intellectual transformation with a passionate human touch, because you have to be humane first. Integrity and humanity is very important. You emphasize legal research writing, how to write, how to research, how to think legally, how to think analytically, the skills to conduct independent legal research, and the ability to produce quality writings of professional standards. Because it's not the English what you speak normally in a common parlance. We have a legal language. That's very important. And that is what we would train you in the beginning itself, so that you have the ability to conduct in that manner. To promote a transparent and conducive atmosphere for quality legal scholarship and community outreach activities. So that leads to holistic human development, and that is where legal aid comes in picture. There are people who are not able to go to the court. So the court gives something called amicus curiae, and where the students can be part of that, and where they can help those people in the society as well. To produce professionals with ethical values, adequate blend of industry competencies, fostering societal transformation. You feel something is going wrong, so you have the right. How you go about it? How can you bring it right? How can you change that? How can you bring in a change and innovation? How can you transform the society? To encourage experiential learning, service learning. That is, when you're studying, we give you internships every year, so that helps you practically to understand the nuances of law for effective clinical legal scholarship, and you have mandatory components of internship as well. Now, the programs offered, as I told you, in Manipal Law School is we have BA LLB Honors, that is Bachelor of Arts and Legal Baccalaureate. You have BBA LLB Honors, that is Bachelor of Business Administration with Legal Baccalaureate, and BCom LLB, that is Bachelor of Commerce and Legal Baccalaureate Honors. Now, that is Legal Baccalaureate is Bachelor of Laws. Now, this is an integrated 5-year degree program. Normally, you have 3 years of bachelor's degree, and then you do a 3 years of law. So here you save up 1 year. So it is an integrated program, wherein honors, you study more about the law. You have extra papers that makes you more effective with respect to that program, and that program is considered to be a very rich program, and it is an elite program. So when you talk about a BA LLB program, you study political science, you study history of courts, you have subjects of BA, which is linked with law, and then you learn the LLB, the subjects of law as well, the substantive subjects and the procedural subjects of law. Same thing with BBA, it is Bachelor of Business Administration subjects would be there, which is linked to management and law. And same thing with BCom, that is something to do with finance, and there is law. So duration is 5 years, you have 10 semesters. It's an integrated law degree program. You get 2 degrees at the end of 5 years. This is approved by the Bar Council of India. And if you talk about the BA LLB honors, As I told you, it's a 5-year integrated law program and it is interdisciplinary in nature. You have your 2 degrees, as I said, humanities and law. This gives a sound understanding of the knowledge of the system of governance and the legal notions and principles, as well as the social, political, and economic setting of the society through this interesting combination of arts and law courses. And we have a unique teaching pedagogy, which is based on the outcome-based education, which is student-centric. Same thing with BA LLB honors. It's 5 years and interdisciplinary, and this has 2 degrees, business studies and law. At the end of 5 years, what you get. And the program gives a sound understanding of planning, administration, corporate sector, industrial sector, nexus with the law and principles of management, human resources, marketing through the fascinating combination of business studies and law courses. And again, as I said, you have a unique teaching pedagogy, which is based on OBE. With respect to BCom, it gives a sound understanding of legal finance analysis, legal evaluators, banking sector, budget planning, legal finance administration, link with the law and business economics, business statistics, corporate finance, and this is through the engaging combination of business finance and law courses. So we have a lot of industry collaborations for our internships and for our placements. Our internships and placements are guaranteed. We also have collaborations with wherein we are planning to have at the Law Training Center for the English sols. That is, you can qualify as a solicitor with England. You can have, we also want to have programs with at the Stadio Education Private University, South Africa, then with colleges in other countries, and with lots of firms like ALMT Legal, wherein students can go for their internships and then even placements. So we have collaborations that helps the students to understand a lot of aspects, and even with companies where they can go for internships and placement that benefits the students. Our admission criteria, again, as I said, we have 60 seats in each batch. We've got 15% NRI seats. Eligibility is 50%. And rest of the things, when the interview is asked, I can tell you about it, like this year, how the admissions are going to take place. And so that's it. Thank you so much. When these different kind of courses come and when you have a choice, the students are confused. So basically, when you're taking a BA LLB, you have an inclination towards that areas like governance, politics, administration, then wherein you are into administrative services or into administrative officers, where you can be into companies, or you can be legal advisors, or you can take up those kind of courses which involves civil natures of cases. So it all depends upon what are you interested in. So if it's a BA LLB, if a student has interest in those kinds of areas like political science or history or economics, or in that's the basic first 4 semesters where they have these law linked subjects, then they have purely legal subjects. So a person who is interested in that can take that. A person who is interested in management area, like if he is interested in business administration, he wants to do a business, or he wants to work in any of the companies into that area, corporate sector, or law firms, or in that case, he should be more into, because when you take a BA, you're more into an independent practitioners, you like to go to the courts, you have to, and here you're more into a firm jobs, you like BBA kind of, business administration, wherein you have a flair for, then a student can take with respect to that. If you're more interested into finance and financial sector, tax, something related to numbers, or something like the bookkeeping, accounts, in that case, a student can take up BCom LLB. So these are the 3 bifurcations where the student has a basic interest, and then that student can mold himself or herself after the 4 semesters into that area towards their practice or working in a firm or working in a company, however the student want to take up. So this is. CLAT is an all India test for the national law universities. MAHE being a university of its own, a deemed to be university, we would have MAHET, that is Manipal Academy of Higher Education entrance test. So when we are taking this entrance test, we will not be considering CLAT, because we will not be allowed to consider CLAT. The question doesn't arise. So CLAT is something for national law universities. So we would be using that MAHET exams only from 23-24. So this year we are not considering MAHE. We are going with personal interviews and micro presentation. We're not taking an entrance examination this year, and they would have their 12 standard marks, and we will go with personal interviews and micro presentations. When we are interviewing a student, it is just to know the student and to understand the student and the student to know us. It's absolutely nothing to judge a student, and a student can ask questions to us also. We always tell the student, do you have any questions for us, whatever doubts there. It's just a personal rapport we create when we try to interview this. So we know the student is interested. It's not, so student will be out like when we ask a personal question, like, why do you want to law, do your law? Like, how did you get interested in doing this law? Or did you anybody forcing you to do this particular program, and or you did not get anywhere, so you're trying to see. I mean, they will be out with that, and they will be, so we can tell them like how good this particular field is and what you should be choosing and why you should be choosing. And micro presentation is just to understand. We give them a choice. You can speak on any topic. Sometimes we give them a topic, sometimes we give them choice of topic, sometimes we tell them you speak whatever you feel, or you feel something which is important, you want to change. So the student would feel, yes, because these are the young minds which we can tap, and these are the young minds who comes out with ideas. So we want to tell them not to be scared of this. Please come out, please speak, because if you're talking about law, you need to speak. So this is where we try to understand the student. So that is what is the micro presentation. So we would understand the student knows something, the student is able to speak. The student, many students are very shy and many of them are scared, as you said. So this would, shun that aspect as well. Well, this is the most interesting part of law, and a student would enjoy doing this. It's like learning with fun. Moot court is a mock court. Like every law college has a courtroom, just like you find in the Karnataka High Court, a replica of that, we have it over here. So in the moot court, we devise cases for them, and it's compulsory for every student to participate. We train them how to argue. And the same thing what in a normal court happens, we do it over here. Many times in the beginning, we do it with industry, we do it with the faculty, then with the industry. Then we call the judges, the retired or the sitting judges from the High Court. We send them out for competitions, which is local level, regional level, national level, and like city, state, national and international level also. They go for international moot courts also, and they come winning, and the prizes are very high for these moot courts. And this is actually a training for them how they can argue in the courts. So this is as far as moot. Same thing. We have civil and criminal. So you have a trial only in a criminal law. So suppose if it's a criminal law where a student where a criminal is, I mean, you say for example, he's a dacoit or a murderer or whatever, and then the state would give him, I mean, he will have his defense, and the state would give the victim a prosecution, and then the matter goes to the court. So there'll be a trial. So he doesn't plead guilty. So there'll be a trial with chief examination, cross examination, witnesses to prove that matter. So that trial advocacy of the criminal law is also trained to the students a way how to argue, how to be a lawyer, how to be a public prosecutor, how to be. So that is where, how to be defense advocate. Then the alternate dispute resolution is a new system which is coming up and picking up very much, where arbitrations, mediations, wherein you go to the court, it takes such a long time for the matters to be adjudicated. So they would have in their clauses of their memorandum or in their agreements or in their contracts that they can dispute it with a mediator and arbitrator who will be neutral, and then the matter is settled out of court, and which brings in saving the time, saving a lot of things. And if they're not satisfied, they can of course go back to the court. I mean, that is another provision which they have. So mediation is picking up very much with respect to industry. So these are the areas when we talk about. Then there is parliamentary debates, how to speak in the parliament. We have those as well, train them for that. That comes more into the BA LLB. So this is where the whatever moot courts trial advocacy or alternate dispute resolutions, that is ADR, takes place. When we talk about internships, but this is a course, this is a program approved by the Bar Council of India, which is a statutory body who gives us permission to run this course. Now, they have, and our legal education rules of 2008 of Bar Council of India gives us the curriculum, basic curriculum and everything. So here, internships is a mandatory aspect, and we have 4 weeks of internships compulsory in a year. That means 5 years, 20 weeks of internships is compulsory by BCI. We allow them to have two internships in a year. They want to have, they have an option, they can do it or they don't want to do it because it gives them practice. In the internship, we help the student to go to, they can go to NGOs, we help them to go to do research work, they can do judicial internships under a judge, they can do in a company, they can do under a lawyer, they can do it in a law firm, they can do it in a particular field. There are so many fields like media law, criminal law, civil law, you name it. So property law, real estate. So this is what we provide from here, where the student can go and do the internship, and they have to come back with the certificate, and we monitor that what they have learned over there practically, because this helps them tomorrow when they become a lawyer. So this is what as far as internships are concerned. With respect to academic collaborations, we're planning to have one with the English solicitors, because solicitors used to be in India before. Now they have the Bombay Incorporated Law Society recognizes the solicitors, and even today solicitors is considered very valuable, but the government of India has scrapped it. But they have solicitors in England where you can do dual practice. You have it in other Commonwealth countries. So one of them is where a student want to go and study solicitors abroad. That's an exchange where they train the students. That is one. Another one, when we were trying to have, we can have international moot courts together with a university where our students will get benefit with respect to that. Then we have with universities abroad where they can do research projects together. Then exchange again with respect to certain subjects like international law. Then with respect to, we have international law place at The Hague. Then we, with respect to summer programs with other universities abroad, so students can go for that. And also internships abroad. So we tie up with firms and Indian firms and other firms abroad so that they can get internships. So these are the benefits what a student gets by these kind of collaborations, and it's purely student centric. We would like to have all kinds of students, whoever is interested in law, who fulfills the criteria of the admission mentioned by the statutory authority. And if they are interested, and if they are willing to learn, and if they want to come, they can come here. Rest is our job. We will train them, and it's MAHE's duty. It's MAHE Manipal Bangalore campus would take care of the student. So whoever student is interested can come forward. We have no discrimination with respect to anything. Any student can come forward, but they have to fulfill the admission criteria, and they have the interest in law. If they don't have interest, they're curious, still they can come. We can fulfill that curiosity as well. I would tell you, whether you want to be a pilot, a doctor, an engineer, administrator, or whatever, but everywhere there is law. Each thing is bound by law. So without law, you cannot do anything. And today, companies ask, earlier it was like they would hire a lawyer. Today, they want dual degrees, like, okay, you know administration, or you know BA, or you know BCom, or you know finance. So it is a clubbed thing when you go. They prefer something together so that, you don't have to pay two people. They have one person who knows both the things. Otherwise, you get two people, one person to understand finance, one person to understand the legal aspects. For example, so you are into any field, you're going to be a pilot, still you will need law. You're going to be a doctor, there is something called medical legal. You have to understand law and medicine. So law is everywhere. So I would say, if you have an interest, and even if you're doing any other course, you still can come to do law. You have 5 years law, that is after 12th. You have 3 years law after graduation. So whatever you're studying, I would say it is good to study law, and it's good to understand law. And so we have room for all kinds of students.